So while I'm on the topic of rates, I thought I'd do a quick video about making money as a freelance model. This can also apply to models who are signed with an agency but aren't exclusive. But primarily the models I've seen using these methods are freelance, or at least part-time. So what's really important to realize is that photography clients or live posing clients are going to be your bread and butter, but they don't have to be your only source of income as a model. People also talk about promo modeling. I can't speak much to that because it's never appealed much to me, and so I've never done any, but that is something to check into. But what I can talk about is growing and utilizing a fan base. Now, this doesn't mean taking advantage of your fans. It means giving them the opportunity to have further access to you. This does require having some level of affinity for your fans. You have to actually like your fans and like investing time with them. But there are several sites set up that make it easy to then allow them to support you in ways that benefit both of you and make both parties happy. Personally, the sites that I recommend most are Zivity.com and Patreon.com. I've been on Zivity for many years. The return on investment can be weak, but you can definitely improve it by putting in a lot of hard work and hustle on the site. I'll probably do a video at a later date on how to really utilize Zivity. But if you enjoy spending time talking to fans and have a good sense of marketing and are willing to explore and really figure out ways to utilize the site, Zivity is a really wonderful resource. And it's good to have around just in case as well. For me, I fluctuate on when I'm active on the site, but when I was in a bad car accident in June 2014 and wasn't allowed to pose for several months, and then when I did return to posing, I could only do so a few times a month, Zivity made it so that I didn't go completely in debt. Zivity allowed me to continue at least paying my rent as the medical bills were piling up. It was a very, very bad car accident, and I couldn't do anything physical. I couldn't go get a real job. We'll talk about that later. I basically couldn't do anything. But what I could do was sit on the couch and talk to fans. And so I did. I talked to fans all day, every day. I uploaded a bunch of sets with photographers who I'd already taken sets with, and I made ends meet because I had that in my arsenal to draw back on when I needed it. It's not for everybody, but it is an option, and it is something to consider. Additionally, Patreon.com is a promising new website that I am in the middle of creating an account for. Patreon allows fans to become patrons of your art. It allows them to pay a monthly amount of their choosing to get a monthly reward of your choosing. Typically bonus photo sets that won't be aired anywhere else. It's much more to your terms than Zivity. So if you don't like the way that Zivity is run, or how the photo set system works, or any part of it, you can create Patreon. Or you can have your accounts running simultaneously. These are things to consider though. I have also created a large list of fans who work with me directly for custom content. Custom content can be anything you want it to be. But often what I do is extra photo sets that are just for them, or that they are okay with me sharing, but they get to define all the details. So if a fan wants to see me in a particular cosplay, and I don't have a photography client who's interested in shooting that, the fan can commission that set in order to get a set of photos made just for them to their specs, particular cosplay, any poses they want, whatever they're interested in. And they get the photos that they want to see their favorite model in, done the way they want. So customs can really be a great way to go as well. I also have several artists who commissioned me to provide photo references for their artwork. These are artists who are too far away to hire me for regular live posing sessions, but who still want to create art based off of me and my body. So they commission me to create photos of poses that they request, usually by showing a sketch example. There's many other ways you can make money as a model beyond just being hired for posing. I've heard of many. I know that Suicide Girls is popular. There are other sites like Zivity and Suicide Girls. Diversity is getting big, I think. But be imaginative. One thing I do know is that print sales can, from what I've heard, be more time consuming than it's worth. If somebody approaches you and wants to buy a print, great. Just make sure to talk to the photographer. Make sure to offer profit sharing if it was a trade or a paid shoot. And make sure that you get it printed in a way that the photographer is okay with. You really, really do not want to run into a breach of contract because you're selling photos without photographers' consents. But if a fan messages you and wants to buy a print, awesome, follow that up. Unfortunately, myself, I have never had a fan actually follow through. They'll message, ask if I'll send them a print, tell me which photo they want, I'll talk to the photographer, find out what the cost would be for the size of photo they want. And then as soon as I give them a price, they bail. There are people who charge much less for prints, but personally, I respect the photographers I work with wanting to get prints printed properly. I am unwilling to use paper that isn't up to the standards that I want to present myself and the photographers want to present their imagery on. So I do allow the photographers to figure out how they want the image printed and tell me what the print cost will be, and then figure out a fair amount for the photographer and myself on top of that. You could potentially charge less and actually sell prints, but with all things, I encourage tracking your ROI, your return on investment. My gut feeling is that selling super cheap prints is going to net a very low return on investment. There's a lot of costs involved. There's shipping, there's actually getting the printing done, there's the packaging and making sure they go out safely. And that's a lot of time, not just money. So you want to monitor your ROI. You want to know what your return on investment is. And you want to be sure that whatever you come up with to help supplement your modeling income while still staying within the realm of modeling is worth the time and effort and money that you put into it. Beyond that, be creative. Maybe there's something that I haven't thought of that's a great way for models to make some extra income. If you have any advice for other models, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'm always interested to see what we come up with as ways to supplement our modeling income. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments as well, or feel free to message me directly. Remember that the goal is to get to a point when you don't need to supplement that modeling income, but you should always, always have a backup plan. You never know when something could happen and you're unable to model for a while. I didn't know I was going to be in a car accident. And when I was, the weeks before, I wasn't using Zivity because I didn't need it. I was making plenty of money and had no need to supplement my income. But having that account and having a healthy fan base of fans that I had interacted with who respected me and knew that I respected them meant that when the unexpected occurred, I had a way to provide an income for myself without defying my doctor's orders. So yes, the goal should be to be able to support yourself fully on modeling. But for those of you who are new, for those of you who are still working out the kinks, it's great to have something extra, something that can provide a little boost to your income. And for those of you who are already supporting yourself fully on modeling, do have a think about what would happen if you're no longer able to model. And please set up those backup plans. If this video was helpful, make sure to watch my other videos. And if you'd like access to my daily updates through the month of February, make sure to subscribe. See you next time.